We're back with another installment of video tutorials from Arvixe for mojoPortal. So today we are going to look at how to set rights and roles and how they affect security access rights in mojoPortal. First of all, let's sign in for the first example of using a right or role and how a user can be put into a group that has certain rights and roles and privileges over content, whether it be site level, page level, or even content instance level. So let's go ahead and type in our admin at admin.com and password admin. And that is an example of a user who has been put in the admin role. So let's click on administration and let's take a look at the member list. Right now, the only member of the site is admin. Let's click manage. And here we will see a tab for role membership. We see that this user is in the roles of authenticated users and administrators. There are other roles that are built into mojoPortal, such as content administrators, content authors, and content publishers, as well as newsletter administrators. Okay, next step, we're going to go back to our main administration menu. We'll add a new user so we can compare the rights and roles. New user. Now you notice that initially all you see is the Identity Security tab. Once we click the Create User button, we have the tabs we saw earlier of Profile, Newsletters, Role Membership, User Activity, and Location. Today we're going to focus on Role Membership. You'll see that because we added this user as an administrator who was logged into the site, the user is by default put into the Authenticated Users group. Now with the drop down, we can choose a number of other roles, or we can create custom roles. For right now, let's just choose Content Administrator and click Add User to this role. Click Update User. Alrighty. Now, let's see. What we're going to do is go to Home, and we're going to set the settings here for welcome. And you'll see that we have a security tab, and we can choose roles that can view the content, roles that can edit the content, or roles that can edit the content as draft. Let's click the tab for edit the content. We can see that administrators, content administrators, and roles selected below are allowed, or only administrators. So what we're going to do for this particular instance to demonstrate the difference between an administrator and a content administrator, we'll click Only Administrators Are Allowed. Click Save. Now we're going to sign out. And then we'll sign in as the new user. New at user.com. And sign in. Now notice that we don't see the edit or settings links next to welcome. That's because this user that we've just signed in as does not have the privilege to edit. However, if we click over here to our blog, we see that we have all these links available because by default, content administrators do have the right to administer to settings or add posts or otherwise administer content on the site. So we've now seen an example of the difference between a default administrator and a new user that's been created to go into a certain role. Now let's step back and take a moment. We'll click on the administration tab, and we also see that we have different settings because of a content administrator versus a full admin for the site. You'll notice that we have a lot fewer options here than we did when we logged in as a full-fledged administrator. So we're going to sign back out. Now we'll sign in again as our admin role. admin@admin.com. Now always remember, when you take your site live, disable the admin@admin.com so that you remove the security leak that would otherwise entail for your site. Now, let's take a look at the admin section again. Reminder, see, we've got a lot more options to choose from. In addition to creating new users and being able to set what roles that they are attached to, we can also create new roles. We see our default that came with the installation of mojoPortal, and I can create a new role. In a real world example would be that, say, you have an organization where you want people in a certain department to have a tab for their department and only have access to content under that section of the site. So we would create, say, accounting, for instance. Add new role of accounting users. Now let's say that we want to create a new page. Again, if you'll remember from our previous tutorial, we want to choose root. We'll just say accounting. And of course, mojoPortal, doing what it does, gave us a friendly URL for accounting. Now we wanted to create security, roles that can view this page, and roles that can edit this page. Roles that can edit this page. Now you see that we have that new role for accounting users, so we're going to check that for the accounting page so that anyone that's in the accounting user section or the accounting users role can access the ability to edit content under accounting. Again, we've got the whole new page and everything, but you get the idea of how you can control your content by group using rights and roles. So, today we've covered the ways of creating a new member, adding them to an existing role, or adding them to a custom role, and how to limit the access to content via at the feature instance level or at the page level. Now you can also do that for a number of pages just by saying this page, as we saw earlier. We can do so by setting it at the feature level, and also you can set it at the site level. Here, we'll step in here for just a moment and back to member list. Let's look at our new user and how we manage. Notice that we can also lock the user. That way, if for any reason you have a user that you don't want to delete from your site yet, but they either, if it's a subscription member whose subscription has run out, if it's an employee who is being removed from that role within the company, say you're doing a reduction in workforce of some sort and you don't want that employee to have access, this would be a way of locking that user without losing all that user's information and history, such as user activity, location, all of which can be very important if you're having to track down any information that was generated by that user. As you can see, mojoPortal has a lot of really great pieces of information on how you can. As you can see, mojoPortal provides a wide range of security features that allow you to control content and who gets to access it on a range of levels. It's very handy, it's very helpful, and very scalable. I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial, and I look forward to chatting with you folks with our next tutorial from Arvixe for mojoPortal. Thanks!